So if you're wondering if journaling is for you or is not for you, this is a good video. I've been wanting to make a follow-up video regarding about journaling and how it could be beneficial and how it could be very damaging at the same time. So stay tuned if that's something that you want to learn a little bit more, how journaling works and what's the beneficial of doing that as well. Hi, if you don't know who I am, I'm Sindy V King. I'm a creator of Calling My King. I help transform a woman to create lasting love through Vedic astrology, neuroscience, and transactional analysis so that she becomes the queen of love. You know, it took me, I don't know, the lifetime of what you call being on YouTube to learn how to curl my hair. I'm not surprised if you never have heard about journaling and the benefits of actually journaling or the dangers of journaling, because I know a lot of people promote it, but they don't promote the negative part about journaling as well. I want to be mindful to be able to do that for you guys today. So there's a couple benefits I want to talk to you about journaling, and it's really important. Let's get focused on why it's the benefit of it, and I'll talk about the cons later because I think we want to know what the positive first, right? And then, the scary part later. So if you didn't know, journaling is really important in the way that you can express yourself. If you're somebody who is considered to be introverted or really struggle with finding words, I think journaling is a great way of writing it. It doesn't matter if you're academically challenged. It's just about you writing how you feel about certain things, and there's definitely no judgment of it. So you don't have to feel pressure of finding the right words. You just write whatever you want, and you stop writing until you're done. So I like the way how I journal is I can use a timer, and that's how I do a run on. And it doesn't matter about spelling, grammar. Like I said, you can be academically challenging and it doesn't matter. So you can just keep writing it or you can put on a music for 5 minutes and you can just write it how you feel about certain things. There's two strategies I kind of gave to you. So you can put a timer or you can put music on and you can just write how you feel in the moment at that time being. And you'd be very surprised. We can just start off if sometime I have a writing block. So if don't know what I'm writing, I could write about my top. It looks like an introverted underwear of the different era. So that's what would be one way I could start off writing in my journal. And I could spiral on how I feel about the color white, or how do I feel wearing this top, or what kind of memories does this top creates into. So it could be an object, it could be an item, or it could be a person, it could be a feeling, it could be a place as well that you experience. And it has to be something more important to you, because if you're writing about it, I think it's really important to you why you express that. Maybe the top is very expensive and you didn't know if it's the right decision of spending. So you can talk about those things as well. And like I said, there's no judgment. I know we're talking about my top per se, but let's move on to a different topic. Maybe you want to remember certain events that you had. Maybe you had a graduation, or you had a difficult, challenging situation that maybe going to the bank was really hard and there was a lot of protests that was happening and you couldn't pay your rent, or it could be anything in that sort of sense, but it's an important event. It could be a positive or it could be a negative. It doesn't always have to be negative. But if it's a negative experience, I think pen and paper is a really great way to slow down your thinking. And I think it's really important as well. If you are going to therapy or counseling, you can bring your journal so you can document the things that you are experiencing or negative feelings so that you can create a strategy around it. And I think that's really vital, having a journal that if you can't remember it, but it's keep repeating over and over, but there's certain words that really pops up for you, you can bring that to a counselor or a therapist. Or if you're going through EMDR, I'll talk about that maybe later in my channel about EMDR and the benefit of going through a session like that. All right, so that's what I have for pros, and I really hope you have a recommendation. I know a lot of women, especially in my program, really struggle on writing topics. So I do have a calendar. It's called the Love Calendar that my teacher actually invented it. I didn't invent it. I love it. And it's a great way of if you're having trouble with doing gratitude journals, and I think gratitude journals are a great way to end your journals, but if you're struggling on writing on certain topics, all you really need to know is your date, birth, and location, and you plug it in, and then you get a nice calendar to give you what kind of things that you want to write as well. I personally like writing my journal based on moon calendar, so that means every quarter of where the moon phases, I would write about Aries. What did I did about Aries? Aries about taking action. So you can come up with certain themes. So you don't have to write journals every day. So if it's inconvenient, I don't want that to be in the place for you. I want it to make it for convenient for you, and it's a time of importance as well. I want you to get into the habit of it because I think it's really beneficial for you in long term as well, and as well you can express yourself. Okay, so secondly, so let's move on to the cons here. Okay, the disadvantage of writing journals, I kind of mentioned it a little bit from our transition there. We want to make sure that not only that the journal that you're writing could be as well traumatizing. So when you go back and read your journal, you can relive those memories. But if it's somebody like myself, this is also a disadvantage of writing my journal. I get my feelings out and I put it away and I don't remember it. And when I pull it back out and I try to reread it, because I write like chicken scratch, you barely could read it, and it's really hard to decode it, and it's like I have no idea what my experience is, but I have a topic in mind that I wrote on top of the journal title, and that's the theme that I'm writing about. That's how I could recall. But if somebody, like, if you have a nice handwriting and you're rereading it from years ago of like the same experience that you had, even till today, it's still not resolved and you're seeing certain pattern, it's very traumatizing, and it could bring up a lot of emotions and a lot of hurt feeling because those things are not resolved. So like I said, I will make a video about EMDR in the future. Just put a reminder, and maybe if you do know about EMDR and you have brought your journal to a therapist and you worked on those issues. Okay, so the second part about writing a journal, it could be very frustrating because you're so worked up with your emotion. You're trying to express it out, and it's really, really hard. And you see those patterns over and over again. It could be a bad dream. It could come up over and over again. I think dreams are very significant because those are the things that if you can recall those dreams, I think you should write a journal for those things as well. Okay, and the third thing, a lot of people get into the mindset of journaling is only for negative things. That is not true. Journaling is there for your memory and expression of what's going on in your day or certain events or a certain experience so that you can compare them later in the future, so that you have a self-awareness of what is considered to be positive in your life and what's negative in your life. When it's positive in your life, you want to document those things because those are positive emotion, and we want to be able to gear those emotion and put those into words. And when we put them into words, we identify those things are considered to be a dopamine, and it's not considered to be cortisol. So there's a difference between the two. When you are writing about negative things, having it out on paper. So let's talk about that on the fourth point I really want to talk about is your mind is spinning. And when you write it down on a piece of paper, it slows it down. You cannot, well, I would not recommend having it on a computer or writing it electronically because you need to slow down your thinking. And the old-fashioned way is just a pen and a paper, and you just write whatever you are. And the fun part about it, you can have many journals as you want. You don't have to be geared to just one specific journal. I really hope I actually has helped you a little bit on how to write your journal and the pros and cons of understanding the benefit of writing a journal. I know like a lot of people who has anxiety find it very beneficial of having a journal on hand, especially if it's something as small or big, you just write it down. But I have heard people who write journals and can also do a burning ceremony in a safe place, obviously. What I really feel and I strongly think that if you are starting your journal for the first time, be patient with yourself, and you're not going to get every cue and every gear right. Just like it took me, I don't know, a couple years to figure out how to curl my hair in the process of making a video. So it's just a different process. So be patient with yourself. Like I said, there's great tools. I'll leave a link down below about the calendar so that you can purchase it. And like I said, I make a small commission, but I barely make any commission out of it. So if that's something, it gives you a theme to write about, great. If you like to kind of do on a calendar base, great. Hey, also, I have seen journals that are considered be drawings as well. So if you're not really into writing words, you can also draw. Journaling is specialized for you. So if you like coloring and journaling in that way, great, go for it. I think it's customized to you at the end of the day. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I enjoy making this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget, I have a great support women group at the descriptions too. Okay, bye now. Look, if you're serious about being fearless in love and ready to be treated like a queen, links is down below to book a time. I got over 100 videos on YouTube, and I post new videos every week. So make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button. You get notified when new videos goes live. If your friend is actually stuck in love, share and like my video. I do take requests on topics and answer your burning question about your relationship. So just leave a comment down below. Otherwise, see you in the next video.